Did you know that hitting the snooze button could be destroying your health? I mean, you've had a solid 8 hours of sleep. Well, maybe more like 6 or 7 because of life. But instead of waking up refreshed, you're dragging yourself out of bed like you just pulled an all-nighter. And then the caffeine-fueled cycle begins. Coffee, crash, repeat. Sound familiar? Yeah, we've all been there. But here's what's interesting. What if I told you that your mornings are sabotaging your energy levels more than the late-night scrolling you promised you'd stop? In this video, I'm unpacking the most common morning mistakes people make and, more importantly, how to fix them. At the end of this video, I'll give you the simplest 5-minute morning routine that even the laziest person can do to transform their day. Let's start with why your snooze button is one of the most harmful things in your mornings. To understand this, let's talk about cortisol. You might know it as the stress hormone. And sure, it spikes when you're stuck in traffic or accidentally reply all on an email. But in the morning, cortisol is your best friend. When you wake up, your body's cortisol levels naturally surge in something called the cortisol awakening response. Think of it as nature's built-in energy boost. This hormonal peak is meant to prepare you to tackle the day. But here's where most people mess it up. Snoozing. Every time you hit snooze, you're interrupting this process. Your brain doesn't know if it should be waking up or diving back into a new sleep cycle, so it ends up doing neither very well. This is why you feel groggy and disoriented even after you've technically woken up 5 times. It's called sleep inertia, and it's basically your brain's way of saying, could you not? So, what's the solution? Let's start with the simplest, most underrated tool in your morning arsenal. Sunlight. Yes, actual sunlight, not the glow of your phone screen. According to Dr. Andrew Huberman, exposing yourself to natural light within 30 minutes of waking up is one of the best ways to regulate your circadian rhythm. Your brain has these little receptors in your eyes that respond to light, signaling to your body that it's time to wake up and be alert. This exposure also triggers a dopamine boost, which improves your mood and motivation. And no, peeking out your window for 2 seconds doesn't count. Ideally, you want to spend 10 to 15 minutes outside, even if it's overcast. If you're not a morning outdoorsy type, a light therapy lamp can do the trick. But honestly, fresh air wouldn't hurt either. The next common mistake people make is not hydrating themselves first thing in the morning. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, you wake up dehydrated. Even mild dehydration can leave you feeling sluggish and foggy. The solution is simply a big glass of water, preferably before you even think about coffee. Bonus points if you add a squeeze of lemon. Why? Lemon water isn't magic, but it does give you a gentle dose of vitamin C and aids digestion. Plus, it makes you feel like you've got your life together, which is half the battle some mornings. And then there's movement. No, you don't have to sign up for a 6 a.m. CrossFit class to reap the benefits of morning exercise. A few simple stretches can work wonders. Think of it as waking up your body along with your brain. Cat-cow stretches, downward dogs, or even just touching your toes can get your blood flowing and shake off the cobwebs. Movement boosts circulation, which delivers oxygen to your brain and muscles, making you feel more awake and energized. Plus, starting your day with even a tiny win, like completing a 2-minute stretch routine, sets the tone for a more productive day. Now, let's address the elephant, or should I say, the espresso, in the room. Coffee. I know, coffee is sacred, but here's the harsh truth. Drinking coffee the second you wake up is like throwing gasoline on a fire that's already burning. When you wake up, your cortisol is already at its peak. Adding caffeine to the mix spikes it even further, which might sound great in theory, but in practice, it's like flooring the gas pedal on an already revved-up engine. Over time, this can mess with your cortisol rhythms, leaving you more tired and dependent on caffeine to function. Plus, drinking coffee on an empty stomach? Bad idea. Caffeine can irritate your stomach lining, disrupt your digestion, and even contribute to those jittery, anxious feelings. If you really must have coffee, Andrew Huberman suggests delaying your first dose of caffeine around 1.5 to 2 hours after you wake up, and have the last dose of caffeine around 8 to 12 hours before you sleep. Now, let's talk about breakfast, or the lack thereof. Skipping breakfast might seem harmless, especially if you're one of those "I'm not hungry in the morning" people. But your body disagrees. Overnight, your blood sugar levels drop, and breakfast is your chance to stabilize them. Skipping this super important meal forces your body to rely on stress hormones like cortisol to keep your energy up, which only works for so long before you crash. And if you think a muffin or a sugary cereal bar makes a breakfast, I've got some bad news. That's like filling your gas tank with soda and expecting your car to run smoothly. Sure, you might get a quick burst of energy, but you'll pay for it later with a mid-morning slump so brutal that even your third cup of coffee can't save you. The goal here isn't just to eat something, but to eat something that fuels you. A combination of protein, healthy fats, and fiber is the trifecta for stable energy levels. Think eggs with avocado and whole grain toast, or a smoothie with Greek yogurt, berries, and chia seeds. If you're one of those "I don't have time for breakfast" people, meal prep the night before. Overnight oats or hard-boiled eggs can save you from the hangry spiral by 10 a.m. And before I wrap everything up into a simple morning routine for you, we need to talk about your thoughts. "I'm not a morning person" is not an excuse. It's a mindset. The reason mornings feel awful for you might be because you've trained your body to expect them to be awful. You snooze, you skip breakfast, you down coffee on an empty stomach, and then wonder why you feel like garbage. Breaking these habits won't happen overnight, but start small. Pick one thing, like ditching the snooze button or drinking water first thing, and build from there. Small, consistent changes add up over time. If you're still with me, let's put this all together into a simple 5-minute morning routine that even the busiest, least motivated person can manage. Step 1. When your alarm goes off, actually get up. I know, groundbreaking. Step 2. Drink a glass of water with lemon. Step 3. Open your blinds or step outside for some sunlight. Step 4. Do a couple of stretches. Nothing fancy, just enough to get your blood moving. Step 5. Eat something nutritious, even if it's just a handful of nuts and a piece of fruit. Done. 5 minutes to set the tone for the rest of your day. The beauty of this routine is that it's customizable. If you have more time, add a walk or a short workout. If you're pressed for time, focus on the essentials: sunlight, hydration, and movement. The point is to create a morning rhythm that works for you and sets you up for success. Remember, your mornings don't have to feel like a mad dash out the door with a cold Pop-Tart in hand. They can be calm, intentional, and dare I say, enjoyable. So, tomorrow morning, try something different. Skip the snooze, step outside, hydrate, move, and fuel your body with something nourishing. And when you feel amazing by mid-morning, come back and thank me. In the meantime, share this video with that friend who's always complaining about being tired. You know the one. What's that one mistake that drags you down every morning? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this helpful or interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more health and wellness tips.